My father served in the First World War.
I joined in army at 19 age in 2007 in December and came to UK.
I was in the 1st Battalion Welsh Guards. I served for 12 years. I got invalided out in 1989.
And then when I was 18, I decided to join the Air Force. It was during the war, and I volunteered for aircrew. I always wanted to be a pilot.
Our role, really, this Mountbatten Pavilion is used for varying degrees of people's stages as they're coming out of the military. It ranges from young 23-year-old soldiers who've been injured whilst actually in Afghanistan, through to 93-year-old ex-services who we're repatriating from abroad.
They find that their benefits, their income and the medical support that they have from those countries is not sufficient to sustain them in their later life. So they then look to return back to the UK.
In Rhodesia during the war, the Rhodesian winters were better than the British summers.
When Rhodesia became Zimbabwe, unfortunately things didn't turn out that well.
There was a tremendous devaluation of currency, and I found that my investments, I put my money into the money market, I found eventually I lost everything.
So they arranged for us to leave on a flight from Harare.
It does take an awful lot of assimilation back into the UK lifestyle, and this is where RBLI's welfare service have a great expertise in helping them maximise their income, sort out all their medical problems, and then help them to move on to a more permanent accommodation.
And from then on, I've been looked after very well and very, very grateful to be here.
When they've just come out of the forces, the transition into civilian life is not always easy for them.
Tried to do a few jobs, couldn't do them because of my legs. I had to see an orthopaedic surgeon. They said that they wouldn't give me an operation on my legs until I was 55.
So our role really is to take them through the next stages for them to get back into civilian life, as it were.
I owe a big debt to the Royal British Legion Industries, because they put me on the path to recovery, really, because I was a down and out. I had nowhere to turn to, and the Legion put me back on my feet. And that's all through going through the process, going through Mountbatten Pavilion.
A lot of them have been obviously used to taking orders, being looked after, living in the same place, and the idea of us having them back here is to take them through the whole benefit system and the whole changes in the UK. And although we will look after them, normally they come here for about an 8-month period for the time to take change. But all that time we're trying to promote independence for them to actually look after themselves.
They got me to see an orthopaedic surgeon. They've also got me a job, and they said there's a house down here for the family if you want it. Now, I met Dawa. He was hit by an explosion in Afghanistan. He came onto the village about 9 months ago.
Dawa, a young Gurkha who was serving with 1 RGR.
And I got injured, back to UK, and lots of medical process and my discharge process as well.
So he came to visit Mountbatten and ended up coming here for, if you like, his rehabilitation. At that time, He has actually got indefinite leave to remain in the UK, so whilst we were trying to prepare him for the future, we still had to await his permission from the border agency for him to stay.
Yeah, actually, I'm very grateful to RBLI in helping me build up confidence to move on. Without their support, I would have found very difficult to adjust and move on to the other things with my life.
We'd also lined him up to work down in our factory, down in the science department, but everything was sort of on hold until this piece of paper came through from the border agency. That came through at the beginning of the year, so he is now officially a UK citizen.
And one thing is, I have got a job as well, just nearby my place. It's walking distance.
And so we're now just started looking for him to move off and rent his own flat, which he's looking forward to.
So here, I'm happy.